Now from Los Angeles, Anahita Sedaghatfar, and from New York, Jonah Spilbor. Both are attorneys. Anahita, let's start with you. I mean, that was some testimony, of course, from the neighbor, Mr. Good, who said he witnessed what looked like this mixed martial arts pound and ground moment. How devastating was that to the prosecution?
The entire day today was another disaster, Laura, for the prosecution. I mean, after listening to 2 days of the other star witness for the prosecution, Rachel Gentile, I didn't think it could get any worse, but it did today. And you really have to question, what is the prosecution doing? What is their strategy? This is their case in chief. This is their time to put on evidence and put on witnesses that support their theory of the case. And what we've seen so far, again, with this particular witness, John Good, is that these witnesses are actually supporting the defense position in this case. And I think the 2 points that this John Good testified to today, point by point, corroborate Zimmerman's versions of events. I don't think the defense could have put on a better witness today, quite frankly.
Yeah, Jonna, I was flipping on, and I thought, wow, the defense is already putting on their witnesses. I did not realize initially that this was a prosecution witness, and then we'll move on to the other part of the day. But this was quite stunning. I mean, it wasn't the little child that we saw in a lot of those pictures, at least the description, if we're led to believe that that was Trayvon Martin on top of Zimmerman, quote, straddling him with that position.
This is true, and I have to agree with both of you. John Good's testimony today was actually very good for the defense. Unfortunately, he is a prosecution witness. However, the prosecutor was able to get some little nuggets from him, such as he did not witness George Zimmerman's head being slammed against the sidewalk, okay? And he actually testified that he didn't really see contact between the person who was on top, his fist to somebody else's face. He didn't see that. But let's remember one thing. Today is not the only day of the testimony. And if you take John Good's testimony and you compare it to a couple of the witnesses yesterday who saw the version of events from a different time perspective, now you've got some of them saying, wait a minute, I thought it was George Zimmerman on top. Now you have today John Good saying, but I think it was Trayvon Martin on top. So it's not a slam dunk for George Zimmerman, even though today's testimony was damaging for the prosecution.
Anahita, then we have the neighbor who also is featured today. And the neighbor made the call, was going to make the call to Zimmerman's wife because Zimmerman gets cuffed at the scene. And then the neighbor said that, well, Zimmerman seemed very calm and said, just tell her that I shot somebody. I don't know what that ended up proving or whether it helped the prosecution or not, but to me that was to me it was not all that exciting, that part of it.
Exactly, Laura. I agree with everything you've said so far. I think that was totally irrelevant. It doesn't go to prove anything. And again, what your other guest said, I think, helps the defense. There's doubt now. The defense has been able to show reasonable doubt. We have some witnesses testifying they saw one thing. We have John Good now today, who was incidentally the only witness that actually walked outside and saw some of the altercation take place, say that he saw another. That's built-in reasonable doubt. That is a victory for the defense right there. And we have to question, again, what is the prosecution's strategy? You would have to speculate the reason they put John Good on the stand, because I too, Laura, when I turned on the television today, thought I was watching the defense witness today. But you would have to think they're doing this to sort of diffuse the blow, knowing that his testimony was going to hurt them and show the jurors, you know, we're not really hiding anything from you. But it backfired because he, again, point by point, corroborated George Zimmerman's version of events.
Counselors, thanks so much. And up next, Geraldo Rivera will weigh in.